Hello and welcome into Mariners Minute as the Harwich Mariners are set to take on the Chatham Anglers in Game 2 of the Divisional Semifinal Series. I'm Austin Rooney alongside my broadcasting partner Thomas Inzarella. And Thomas, let's jump into last night's game where the Mariners fell by a score of 8-3 to the Anglers. The Mariners started off up 1-0 in the first inning, but afterwards the Mariners scored 2 runs in the bottom, or the Anglers scored 2 runs in the bottom of the second, and from there on out they never looked back.
No, it's just the Chatham offense just came out in force against the Mariners, and we mentioned before that the Mariners got on top of the first inning, which is exactly what the Mariners need to do, and that's one of the keys to watch for today. The Mariners can get a couple runs across early against the Chatham team that just has played well on the road against the Mariners this season, outscoring them on the road by a decent amount. So it's just keeping those the Anglers' bats at bay, and Mariners getting a couple runs across would be really key for them tonight, and I think that's what they need to do in order to win today.
Well, the Harwich Mariners will be sending Danny Poitomani to the mound, the southpaw. He'll be taking on Alek Manoah for the Chatham Anglers. These are two guys who have both pitched pretty well. Manoah has been outstanding, though, for the Chatham Anglers. What do you look for out of both pitchers tonight?
Well, Manoah's going to try to attack the Mariners hitters early, and that's by going with the fastball. Really pounding it in the zone early and trying to get to that curveball to really get guys off balance. And for Poitomani, guys pitched very well since he's returned back into rotation. Especially, he's been one of those guys. He's probably right behind DeVito, and that's why he's going to start today, especially against a heavily lefty lineup in the Chatham Anglers. And that's why Tom Holliday has been rearranging that Chatham lineup from what it was last night, moving those left-handers in between those right-handers, and even a couple of those guys out. Helps when Greg Jones is a switch hitter, but I'm excited to see what Poitomani can bring tonight.
Well, Danny Poitomani has gotten very unlucky this season. He's allowed a lot of runners on base. When the relief pitcher comes in, the inherited runners are all charged back to Poitomani. I talked to him after his last start. I think he said that almost half of all of his runs that he's allowed this season have become with another pitcher in the ball game. So we'll have to see if that doesn't happen tonight, if he can get out of the inning cleanly and just get to the relief pitcher right afterwards. You may see a couple of relievers tonight. We talked about some of the guys last night for the Harwich Mariners we may end up seeing tonight. What do you expect out of the bullpen as well tonight?
Well, again, it's all hands on deck. I mentioned last night, and especially those left-handers might try to combat those lefties with a lefty and maybe Joe Lasorsa. But again, we might see Caleb Freeman, a hard thrower, out of that bullpen. We'll see what Coach Deng will go to. We really can't say who he's going to go to, but those may be just some ideas to give you if we might go to early if things turn south.
And then what do you see as the keys to the game for tonight's matchup, Thomas?
Well, definitely scoring early and often, as I mentioned before, and I think if the Mariners pitching, including Poitomani to start things off, can get those first 3 guys out, and Torkelson and Sable and Bush, I think they have a good chance of winning. If those 3 guys do not get a hit tonight, it's going to be awfully tough for the Anglers to drive in runs. Those are their big run producers.
Well, the Anglers do have those top 3 guys as their major run producers, but that is a very deep lineup, 1 through 9. We'll have to see how the Mariners pitching staff is able to do against that very tough Anglers lineup. So that'll do it for us with Mariners Minute. We'll see you on the call at 6:15 from Austin Rooney and Thomas Inzarella. We'll see you when the Mariners take on the Chatham Anglers.